as I look over the 9 years that I've been a senator so far, I see us continually doing things that make it easy for people to continue poor behavior practices. And because we do that, it just dawned on me that's going to be a paradigm of mine from now on, and a strong one, that I will not vote for anything that eases the pain, if you will, of unacceptable poor behavior.
Senator, let me try to throw you a lifeline, okay?
You don't need to throw me a lifeline.
Well,
Go
I'm going to try, because what this is. Do you understand the science of this?
I understand the science of it, yes.
Okay, so the woman who has HIV, there's nothing you can do to prevent her from having HIV, but there are things that can be done to prevent the baby she's going to have from getting the HIV from the mother. There are medical steps that can be taken. So I can understand you trying to deter bad behavior, but what did the little baby that's going to be born do to deserve you condemning them to get HIV?
First of all, it's a very small percentage, as you know. But let me try to, if you give me a few minutes here, let me try to explain a little bit of where I'm going on this, because the only reason it's gotten to be a big issue is because of the gay issue and the HIV, and that. I mean, that's the only reason where this thing's floated to the top. But let me just say, for my children, for example, when they were small and they started to run out in the street, I spanked the heck out of them, because I did not want that behavior to end up in an accident and for them to be killed. Okay, and the reason is because I've seen and we've heard stories over and over of people where their children have run out after balls and what have you and been killed. Okay, because of that kind of behavior. So parents take decisive action as a result of having seen the consequences of that kind of behavior, if you know what I'm saying. And so they teach their children then, don't run out in the street, so forth. Okay, when we continue to put salve on whatever the issue is, whether it's children that are 13 years old, girls that get pregnant, and all of a sudden we set up a nursery in the high school so that they don't have to endure any stress as a result of having the children. They can still get an education. That's another example, which I think I brought up in the well the other day. It's a bigger issue, and I would be hopeful that seeing the consequences of this in our society, people would say, look, promiscuous behavior is not acceptable. And when you have sex with somebody, 3 or 4 people, you're having sex probably with everybody else, because there's chlamydia and there's other sexually transmitted diseases. And we should not be, and as a society, as a legislature, we should not be making that easy for people.
But just to use your metaphor, and it's interesting to hear you say you spanked the hell out of your children when they were going to run in the street, but it would be comparable to you going in the house and getting a child who didn't run in the street and throwing him under the car and saying, you see what happens?
No, but
don't you follow that that's the better metaphor for what you're doing? You're punishing the baby.
Yeah, you're making it sound like you're punishing every baby, but that's not the case.
But Senator, this is Dan, and I've admired the work you've done on behalf of the unborn, but this is the polar opposite. You're willing at this point to sacrifice unborn babies to punish their mothers whom you see as making a mistake. And your logic about you don't want to ease the pain of poor behavior anymore, what are you going to do now? Would you vote, for example, to forbid medical and fire and ambulance to responding to injured and dying drunk drivers because their own bad behavior caused the wreck? This doesn't make any sense to me.
No, certainly not. But see, the drunk driver has we can't keep that drunk driver from hurting themselves and almost maybe killing themselves. I mean, we can't prevent that. We can't prevent the man that unfortunately rapes a woman, for example. That's not good either. Obviously, it's a terrible thing. We can't prevent that from happening. So there's other consequences of bad behavior that are happening in society. And anyway, that was the way I looked at it.